going on, gang? What's up? What's going on, guys? All right, so this is an important topic because this seems to be something that's being talked about within the boxing community regarding Gervonta Tank Davis and if he basically gave up. If he decided, yeah, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. What's up, Fanatico? Hugh Jakes here. Okay, Hugh the Dev. And yes, Ryan definitely quit. I'm the only one who predicted that he would quit. I mean, that's a little, we got a little, I mean, you would want it to be that he quit if you predicted that he quit. But, I mean, it is a valid question. It is a valid question. Anthony Murchison, what's going on, brother? What's up? And then we have Chris Sada. Only man I see standing in the way of Tank is Shakur. Interesting. Hold up. So, hold up. So you don't think Devin Haney or Lomachenko could take Shakur? Shakur, of course, they can't take Shakur out. You don't think Devin Haney and Lomachenko could take Tank out? You think only Shakur is the person? First of all, Tank, I'm going to say this right now. He impressed me so much. Every single fight before the Ryan Garcia fight, he was essentially like, he wasn't befuddled. He was waiting for his big punch, but as he's waiting, he's so confident in his punch that he doesn't really care what's going on in respects to, he's never putting himself in crazy danger, but he's also not stopping them from hitting him either, right? But against Ryan, it was a completely different story. And Ryan showed that he's nowhere near the level of Tank. Now, before the fight happened, and of course I predicted that Ryan would win, but I didn't predict that Ryan would win solely on the fact that he was better than Tank, because that's not how I look at boxing. I predicted that Ryan would win because of his attributes in terms of his hand speed, his anatomy in terms of his height, his reach, and his ability to keep distance with previous fighters that he's fought before, like Javier Fortuna, for example. So his ability to maintain distance using his feet, of course, didn't have much head movement, but I didn't think he needed that in respects to beating Tank. Tank and Ryan Garcia both proved me wrong. And this is the beauty Hold up, we got a lot of people in here. Hold on, we got Love C Shorty. Love C Shorty, what's going on, brother? What's up? Nath Ryan, Ryan needs to learn like when Canelo he fought Floyd. I think it's very it's gonna be difficult for Ryan, in my opinion. It's gonna be difficult for Ryan. There are things that I thought that Ryan would be mentally prepared for this moment, and we never know until it happens. That's why things, for example, even me predicting that Ryan would win, it's still a prediction. It's never a guarantee because you don't know how somebody's going to absorb the moment, right? And to me, it felt like the stage was too bright, the stage was too big for Ryan Garcia, and Gervonta Tank Davis leveled up what he can do, or he leveled up what he's shown us, right? So he showed us more facets to his game and the ability to take his time. He took his time with Ryan, but he also was tactical about it. He wasn't technically losing the fight. He was taking his time to get that one punch, which he found, which was the body shot, which he's landed the body shot before, but I don't think he's done it in that way. Just it's perfectly like that, where the person just doesn't get up and it's over. I haven't seen him take somebody out with that, but he's super skilled and he proved it in the ring. So kudos to Tank. Kudos to both, even to Ryan for pushing for this fight to happen, knowing that he wasn't technically ready for this moment. He wasn't ready, but he still wanted the fight, which speaks volumes about how Ryan's character. So kudos to him. But Tank definitely showed me that he could maybe hang with these big punchers or these big fighters. I actually thought that that Tank was not at the level of a Devin Haney a Lomachenko, right? I thought he wasn't at their level because maybe it's just a byproduct of the fighters he's been fighting, but he doesn't show you everything. It's like you need to pull it out of him. Like he needs to get there. You need to bring him there for him to show it. If you don't bring him there, he won't show it. And he's very adaptable, incredibly adaptable, very scientific in the ring. And it shows because he buys his time, he gets the knockout, or he figures out what's the weakness of his opponent, and then he gets the knockout. And I think that after this fight, he may actually be at the level of those guys. He just doesn't fight them for whatever reason in terms of his promotional team or what they decide to do with him. I think he just lets them do that, and then he just doesn't end up fighting these guys. But I don't think after this fight, he's borderline the face. In my opinion, he's borderline the face of boxing. Borderline the face of boxing. We still got to wait on the pay-per-view numbers. We haven't gotten a final number count yet. We're still waiting on it, but I think he's borderline the face of boxing right now. If you're the face of boxing, if you fought a person that got you over to that like mainstream thing, then boom, you got to start moving up to fighting the Devin Haney's and the Lomachenkos. You just have to. It just makes the most sense to do that. Hold on. What Jumpman23 was good, gang, bro. When I tell you I was literally in space on Saturday, it was crazy. But Tank was shutting Ryan down. Yeah, Tank was doing his thing, man. Then Tank was definitely doing his thing. Chris Ada, Devin doesn't have enough power to keep Tank. See, but that's the thing. Boxing, you don't always have to have power. Do you think Mayweather had more power than Manny Pacquiao? Do you think Mayweather had more power and weight than he wasn't even heavier than Canelo Alvarez? Do you think Mayweather had more power than Miguel Cotto at 154? You don't always have to have power. But the good thing about Tank is that he has a lot of skill and an amazing ability to adapt. So it's just, I want to see him against that higher level competition and see what he does against that high level competition. That's what I want to see. Keep grinding, man. Your game is really good and has loads of potential. Thank you, brother. Thank you. It seems to me once Ryan felt Tank's power, he was hesitant and scared to throw his combos as much, in my opinion. Okay. I got Tank stopping Devin, though. Okay. I like Sean Porter's take on the KO. Ryan, although in hella pain, could have gotten up, but fear of the unknown kept him down. I can't even blame him. Tank was about to kill him. We don't want that. Nah, we definitely don't want that, man. We don't want that. Oh, we got King Juice in the house. Yep, that's how I feel about Tank, and I realize how hard it is to predict his fights, man. Yeah, it's very tough. It's very, very tough because he didn't even show that Tank. He was slow out the gate. He was slow, but this time he was slow out the gate, but maintaining some sort of control over what's going on where he's not losing before the knockout. He's figuring out what Ryan is doing and he's diffusing it immediately. So kudos to him. Of course, he quit. He dropped twice and knew his power wasn't phasing Tank. He knew he wasn't coming back. Let's see. I want to see Tank scrap Devin later this year or early next year. I honestly can't see that fight happening. Like, I really can't see it happening. Like, I want it to happen so badly, but they had to move heaven and earth to get two promotional companies to work together. And what are the chances that both, Bob Arum and Mayweather Promotions and PBC, because let's be real, Tank is still in Mayweather Promotions, which was very clear after seeing that. What are the chances that they will come together to make this fight? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there's more of a likelihood that the winner between Devin Haney and Loma gets fed to Shakur Stevenson because it's all in-house for Top Rank. And in that event, maybe when Bob Arum makes sure he isolates that power, which is like the winner of the Undisputed, who wins that, then fights Shakur. Then Shakur is the young star and Undisputed, and then he takes him, and maybe for a mega ultimate super mega fight, we get Shakur versus Tank. That's the only thing that I could foresee Bob Arum maybe conceding to, because I think Bob Arum has a lot of confidence in Shakur Stevenson. And if he was to send someone out to defend the brand, I think he would send Shakur Stevenson out to defend the brand against Gervonta Tank Davis in a super fight. But that's just my opinion. I truly do not see him putting Devin Haney with Tank, or putting Lomachenko with Tank. That's just, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Floyd got popped. People knew not to be reckless coming in. Oh, yeah, for sure. Floyd definitely had a lot of pop. Just because he wasn't knocking people out in the latter half of his career doesn't mean he didn't have pop. But I don't think he had more pop, for example, than like a Miguel Cotto, right? I think Miguel Cotto had a little bit more power than him. I think, like a Canelo had a little bit more power than him. But I just use that as an example to say, just because somebody has more power than somebody else doesn't necessarily mean that the person who has less power would win. Because if you're good, if you're tactical, if you're smart, you can win. Tank is a master at range and distance. I don't think he's a master at range and distance at all. I think Tank is a master of picking his shots. His shot selection is magnificent, but I don't think that he can control distance that well. He gets smothered a lot. He gets caught in clinches a lot. He gets put in like bad positions up against the rope a lot. I don't think that he's a master at range and distance. Shakur is a master at range and distance. I think what Tank has that's elite, that's probably one of the better things that he has over most people in boxing, is his understanding of his opponent's special weapons, the things that his opponents wants to do, diffusing them, and also his shot selection. That's what I think that he has. I see an in-house fight versus Frank happening before Haney. That's true. He could be fighting Frank. Shakur could be fighting Frank before he fights Haney. But I don't see why they wouldn't hyperspeed him, right? Because he's a multi-divisional champion. A lot of people like to hit the reset button when somebody hits a new division. It's like, oh, Shakur ain't do nothing no more. Now let's say he didn't do nothing. He ain't do nothing because he just got here. It's like, my man, you can't disregard like his come up. You know what I'm saying? Like he won the world title in 2 divisions. So I do think that there's a path for him. He might fight like Frank. He might fight Frank right before he fights them. But I do see a path towards Undisputed between the winner of Lomachenko and Devin Haney and being fed to Shakur Stevenson. Man. Guys, hit that like button. If you're in here, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, so you can get the notifications whenever I go live, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I hope you guys are enjoying. We're gonna look at the video real quick because I haven't even jumped to the fact that talk about my opinion if Ryan quit or not. I haven't jumped to that. Now, watching the fight live, if you guys were in the live stream, it was pretty shocking. It felt like a delayed body shot. But the highlight is up. And we could take a look at it together. Let's take a look at it together since the highlight is up already. Let's take a look at it together. Hold on 1 second. Let's pull this up. See this here. Now, we're also going to talk about the whole De La Hoya thing, because that was kind of a weird thing too, right? De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, they even Goosen, I forget his name, so the trainer, Goosen, even him not being with Ryan Garcia in the post-fight press conference, which was an interesting thing to not do. But let's go ahead and take a look at this here, right? Let's look at this here. Now, this is the moment that it all happened. This is the moment where it all happened. Now, first of all, even the way Garcia is guarding right here, there's a certain level of fear, in my opinion, and I've now rewatched the fight, of course, under a more analytical eye. But there is a certain level of fear that was being displayed by Ryan Garcia, and And it didn't start until he got dropped in the second round. In the second round, which was the controversial round where the judges scored it 10-9 by Dan Cheatham scored it 10-9. Steve Weisfeld scored it 10-9, and Dave Moretti scored it 10-10. It wasn't until that second round, which, by the way, yes, he was dominating in the sense of aggression, because according to CompuBox, Gervonta Tank Davis threw about 6 punches in the second round. So even though Ryan Garcia wasn't landing a lot of his punches based off the CompuBox stats, he was throwing a lot. So you guys have to understand, when it comes to judges, they don't have CompuBox in front of them. They don't even all have the same angles to look at it. So if your back is against the rope here and somebody's hitting you this way and I'm a judge over here, I'm gonna hear pops and pops and pops. I'm not gonna know what blocked, what got blocked, what didn't come in, what hit his arms, what hit his body. I'm not gonna know. So as a judge, I'm just seeing this massive amount of activity, and that's probably what they seen to give Ryan a little bit of a nod. I still think that is not enough. Like, for you to get a 10-8 turned into a 10-9, forget about 10-10. That to me was crazy. But for you to get a 10-8 turned into a 10-9, essentially you needed to fight a 10-8 round without knocking the person down. And that's rare. You got to think about that as a spectator. You need to fight a 10-8 round without knocking the guy down. Just because you're throwing a lot of punches don't mean you got a 10-8 round. Just because the other person's not throwing punches don't mean you got a 10-8 round. You got to fight a 10-8 round. That's like a 10-8 round is like when Vernon Forrest fought Sugar Shane Mosley and was beating him up from pillar to post, and he was rocked and fumbling and stumbling all over the place. That's what a 10-8 round would look like, right? This didn't look like a 10-8 round to me, and let alone a 10-10 round. So to me, I call no on that. Like, I still don't agree with the scoring for the second round. But let's go ahead and look at this. I think after that second round, there was a certain level of fear with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia appeared to have no game plan at all. His game plan was just, I'm going to try to throw fast punches and make them land. None of that stuff had any. He had good reflexes in certain points, though. He was seeing a lot of the setups that was happening with Tank, which was good on his part, but it wasn't enough to create his own offense. It was just enough to stay away from some of the stuff that Tank was doing in the middle of the fight. But at this point, which I'm sure that he was, look how hypersensitive he is to protecting his face. He was very focused on his face. He was not focused on his body at all. He was worried that Tank was going to go for his face. So they go ahead and exchange here. And you can see, of course, Tank is doing intelligent work with kind of pinning his lead hand down, keeping him from jabbing, which is the thing that he needed to use to keep distance effectively. So for Tank to just constantly pin that up, and then when he sees movement, he knows something's coming. He could slip to the right, he could slip to, depending on where he moves his hand. It was very intelligent by Tank to basically diffuse his ability to control distance well by basically using that advantage as a southpaw. This is his hand close to Ryan's close hand, and his lead hand close to Ryan's lead hand. He just pinning it the whole time. So he didn't really give him an opportunity to use that jab effectively. So Ryan goes ahead, pulls away here, and then of course this is when the moment happens. He's pinned right there. He continues to pin it. He goes for the hook, and Ryan has done this so many times. The problem with Ryan is he gets overzealous. He throws the hook when he misses. Tank was noticing every time he was missing the hook or it was grazing Tank, he didn't feel like he landed anything good. He would do his I'm going to be super fast kind of thing. So what's the next punch? What's the next more probable punch that's going to come after this left hook, especially after downloading this data for over 7 rounds? It's the right punch, right? So as soon as he goes and throws this right punch, boom, gets caught right there. And the timing was so beautiful by Tank, because if you look at the way Tank came in, pause, right? He goes, Ryan Garcia throws, pause, pins it. He sees it. See, this is the thing. If he's pinning, the moment he sees that hand move, it can't come straight, so he's not going to get a jab out of it. Tank could go straight down, and he's not going to hit him this way, right? So Tank could dip this way without fear that this punch is going to land. If Ryan would have applied more feints, he probably could have done better work. If he would have applied more feints, he could have done better work. But he only did like these feints that weren't feints. It was like stuff like this, and that's not gonna do nothing. You got to create a literal, like, a moment that looks realistic, like something is about to happen, and then change it up. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. So he's waiting for the other punch. Tank is waiting for the other punch. He noticed that he didn't throw it, and Tank did not give up his seat, like what he was gonna do. He didn't give it up. The moment he sees the hand come up, boom, lands it perfectly. The moment he sees the change, the shift, the energy, the kinetic energy, the shifting to the right hand, boom, he hit him. Because he already knows that he's in an uncomfortable spot. He has him smothered from the left side. Boom, right there. Has his arm. He feels his arm right here. He feels his arm on top of his neck, on top of his shoulders. He knows what punch is coming. It ain't this one. He knows it's this one. And he knows that Ryan is headhunting. So the moment Ryan opened that up, bam, right there to the body. And you could see immediately that Ryan was hurt. Immediately that Ryan was hurt. Like, you could see it right there. The fact that Ryan did this, that was so out of character. Like, who does that? It was like, don't hit my body. It was basically his body saying, his body making him do a physical visual sign of, yo, don't hit my body. So then, hold on, I want to make sure you guys are good. You guys are good in here? You guys can hear me, right? I hope I wasn't talking all of that and y'all couldn't even hear me. You guys can hear me? I don't know why I think you gotta watch the video. Just weird how he didn't go down right away. No. It's not weird how he doesn't go down right away, man. That happens. Yeah, we hear you. Okay, Mr. Bones Boxing. Okay, perfect. No. That happens in boxing, guys. That happens. That's the thing that happens in boxing. People have delayed things. First of all, what I think happened was it was incredibly painful. It hurt him. And in his mind, he was thinking, let me try to pretend it doesn't hurt. Like you put on, Mayweather did that too. Mayweather would get rocked by Manny and he'll be like, and Manny will be like, nah, bro, I see you hurt. Let's go. And then Mayweather's like, damn, I got to block. Like, I can't do nothing. With Ryan Garcia, instead of blocking, he just said no. He said, no, I'm going to take a knee. Now, do I think he was hurt to the point where it was like completely debilitating, where he couldn't move? I don't know. It's tough. When looking at he looked too cognizant of what was going on. Usually when you're in that pain, it's it's hard to explain. Look at people who could not get up, like Oscar De La Hoya, or even when he did it to Luke Campbell. There's this like piercing pain that you just can't, like, you're like, oh my God, what is going on? You're not really like looking around and doing different things like what Ryan Garcia was doing. So Ryan gets hit here. You can see he's smiling. And the reason he's smiling is because Tank is like, oh, I know I got you. I know it hurt. I saw your movements and you're not doing what you normally do. You did something weird there. I know you're hurt. So now I'm going to advance. Now I'm going to push forward. And he goes to push forward, and Tank was about to literally start to take his head off. Tank was getting all the control. Look how far back he's about to get cornered. Ryan sees all of this chaos. Everything is going in Ryan's head. I'm about to get cornered. I'm about to get massacred. I'm in this massive amount of pain. His shot selection has been perfect, which is why Ryan is blocking like this and turning his back, because he's so befuddled by Tank's ability to his shot selection and his power. He said, screw it. I'm going to take a knee. Now, this is a person that's taking a knee. It doesn't seem to me like he's taking a knee in pain. It seems like he's taking a knee and he's paying attention to so many different things. For example, he takes a knee and looks at the referee, right? Takes a knee over here, looks at the referee, then looks at Tank. And he's like, and then tries to avoid Tank. maybe, was Tank gonna throw like this reflexive, punch? Because Tank could have thrown a hook, because in boxing, when you're throwing fast punches, you're actually throwing them before you throw them. You're thinking of the punch you're gonna throw, so that's the only way you can get it out super fast and snappy. You're not throwing it, you're not thinking about throwing it the moment you're throwing it. You know what you're gonna throw. So he might have thrown something already without knowing that he was gonna take a knee. So Ryan is aware of that, and Ryan's like, whoa, don't hit me. Ryan was looking at the referee. Ryan puts then his hands down, and Tank goes away. So now Ryan is grimacing in pain at this point. But look at his face. He did a grimace in pain moment that lasted maybe a second or two. It wasn't like he was like, punching the ground. This is crazy. This is painful. The whole time, it was just a moment where he was just like, at first he looked at the referee. He looked at Tank. He's like, whoa, don't hit me. Then he went like this. And then as the referee was coming, he saw Tank was gone. He felt safe. He goes down and goes, damn, that hurts. And then he gets up, puts his face up, looks at Tank, puts his head down. But the entire time he looks super aware of everything that's going on. He doesn't look like he's so focused on his pain. He looks like he's more focused on Tank. Look at how he's looking at Tank. It's almost like he's saying to himself, damn, I lose. Like, it's checkmate. I can't beat Tank. That's the vibe that I got from the way he was looking at Tank in these moments. It's a checkmate thing. It's like, man, I can't do nothing. Should I get up? That's what he's thinking. Should I get up? Should I do it? Should I stay here? What's everyone gonna think? Am I gonna would all of this be for nothing? Is it worth me getting up? He's a unique fighter. He's a unique fighter because he has things going on for him outside of this, right? Somebody else like a Maidana might have gotten up in a situation like this because this is their world, right? But in his mind, he's thinking, like, should I even get up? I mean, I could just be like this. I could just be guessing, right? Because I don't know exactly what's in his mind. But the way he's reacting for sure makes me feel that he wasn't paralyzed by the punch, right? So look how he's looking. Look how he says yes. He's very aware. He's like, yes. Like, he's like, you got it. And then as soon as he says 10, he goes ahead and gets up. As soon as he says 10, he goes ahead and gets up. He's not like, getting up. Like, this is so painful. He's like, damn, I lost. But to me, I think in that moment, he conceded the fight to Tank. And I think the reason he conceded the fight, and here's the thing, I don't want people to be like, yo, he quit, so that means that he saw. There's like, if you never boxed before, and especially for the majority of us, if you've never boxed at the highest level, a professional fight, the amount of danger inside of that, and when you feel so overwhelmed, like there's a storm, like there's nothing that you can do, you know you don't have another plan. You know that your plan that you came in with is not working at all. As a matter of fact, it's working against you. You threw your plan away in round 2 because of what happened. You don't know what to do now. You're so lost. And at the same time that you're lost, you're being hit by somebody who hits incredibly hard, who has like a 98% knockout rate. And it's not even a knockout where he beats you to a pulp or whatever and it's a TKO. He be knocking people out. He has so much power, he knocks people out, but with one shot. Imagine the amount of pain that he's going through throughout the whole thing. And then he has to come to grips with, should I even get up to continue to deal with this? Because I don't have anything else to give. And all I'm going to be doing is taking punishment. I think that down the line, when Ryan develops a little bit more, maybe there's something there for him to go ahead and do a rematch. But if they were to rematch, I would pick Tank to beat him in the rematch, because this showed me that Tank is way too smart for Ryan Garcia. And if Ryan Garcia doesn't, he might be in that mold where he can't really advance so much more. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people think that Canelo, for example, after Mayweather, he just, like, it was the Terminator. He just downloaded mad stuff because he lost to Mayweather and became amazing. Some of his best defensive stuff was done with Austin Trout. Like when they show clips and they're like, look at Canelo, how much he learned from Mayweather. He's slipping all these crazy punches. The majority of those clips is like Austin Trout clips that happened before he even fought Mayweather. Canelo was already on his way, already had a mold to him. And I think that Ryan Garcia's mold, he just doesn't have, those fundamentals that he needs to beat somebody like a Tank. But that was my view in this moment. Do I think he quit? I do think he quit, but I don't take it as a way of like, oh, let's pile on him, let's pile an attack on him and say he's soft and all that stuff. I think he basically said, this is my checkmate. This is Tank's checkmate. I can't figure out what to do. He's beating me up. He wins. I think that's what happened. It's like he to him, he was prolonging the inevitable if he continued to fight. That's what I think. Ryan Garcia decided to do in that moment. Now let me see what you guys think. What do you guys think about the assessment that I just made? Do you guys feel that that's what happened? Do you guys feel that he did that, or do you guys feel that he was he really just got hurt and he couldn't get up? What do you guys think? Let's go to the chat. Hold up. We got Ball Out Mixtape Fire. Facts. Okay. All right. So I guess you agree. Kudos to Ryan, though. He was gracious in defeat. No excuses. Of course. 100%. Respect. Yeah, Tank keeps showing different levels. Man, seriously dangerous. Yeah, he is. This loss may make Ryan better in the long run. We'll have to wait and see. Yep, we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, sometimes you're molded already and at this point in your career. At this age, but he could get better. I mean, he could mix that stuff in with some type of like analytical strategy to find better ways to land his punches, as opposed to just being like, I'm blitzing fast and this is gonna land, because not only am I blitzing fast, I'm super long and I'm super tall. So what are you gonna do? It's like, well, when you fight somebody who like a Tank, they're gonna figure out what to do, and he figured out what to do. Contrary to my own prediction. This is the beauty when you predict based on analyzing. You give props to the person who actually win, even if your prediction is wrong, because my prediction is not ever based on I like this guy more than that guy. So then I could easily humble my own prediction and be appreciative of what Tank did, because I view both of them in an isolated way, not based off of being team Top Rank or team PBC or team DAZN, just being a team boxing, right? So that's the beauty of, even if you get your predictions wrong, as long as you predict by looking at stuff and analyzing them and looking at the attributes of the fighters, you remove all your emotions from it. So when the fighter that you pick lost, you can still come in here and analyze it with a level head. If he got up, he was going to be overprotective of his body, and he was going to end up exactly like Santa Cruz. Yeah, I think it was going to be very dangerous if he would have got up. In my opinion, it's like saying that someone tapping out in a submission quit. Nah, the fight is over. Exactly. So that's a perfect thing. It's like you could get choked out if you want. You could just get choked out and pass out, right? You could get choked out and pass out, but why? You know there's nothing else. So just tap. Because you know there's nothing else. Or your arm could break from an arm bar. But why? You know there's nothing else. So you tap. But that don't mean that you wasn't tough. He got dropped in the second round, got up. Granted, changed his whole strategy up. But he stood in there and tried to figure out a way to beat him, and realized on the seventh round, especially after getting hit that hard, he didn't have nothing. He didn't have nothing for him. I was disappointed. I think a fight. Hold on one second, my fault. This magnitude should have went 2 more rounds at least. I think 7 rounds is all right. I think it's all right. That's more than half of the fight. I think it's all right. I think he switched back to Reynoso's. Oh, really? Because the whole damn goose and thing. Oh, we got to talk about that. Did you guys hear what Oscar De La Hoya was saying? I got it pulled up over here on Twitter, but we'll play. I didn't hear it, but I heard a little bit about it where he said that there were death threats or something like that. So we're gonna play it, and I'm gonna watch it with you guys for the first time. I haven't seen it, but I put it here, and I have it queued so that we can watch it together. What time is it? 7:36. All right, we got time. Ryan needs to learn patience. 100%. 100%. I think in his mind, he was like, I know Tank could build has an analytical brain, and he will start downloading a bunch of information, and he's gonna pick me apart. So let me go crazy now before he knows what to do. It's the how to beat Mayweather strategy, right? The number one strategy to beat Mayweather was not, outsmart Mayweather. No one was gonna outsmart Mayweather. The number one strategy to beat Mayweather was the Maidana strategy. Throw everything and the kitchen sink at Mayweather from all angles, from every position. Make it as dirty as possible before he gets your timing down. Because once he gets your timing down, it's basically over. He will start to pick you apart. Tank is even scarier because once he gets your timing down, your rhythm, your flow, and everything, he could start making reads on you. He's going to knock you out. That's scarier. So I think in his head, he's like, let me get him before he gets to that point. If he was Reynoso, the thing would have been better. Maybe. Prograde versus Tank. I would love to see that. But I think Prograde is at 140, you know? Tank's fought at 140, so yeah, it's possible. Ryan needs to learn how to use his advantages, but Tank was a smarter fighter, plain and simple. Easy, yes, 100%. Based on this fight, do you see Tank, if not beating Shakur, potentially hurting Shakur? I don't see anybody, Jay Shep, and by the way, what's up, Jay Shep? Thank you for coming in here. I don't see anybody really hurting Shakur. I think Shakur's distance control is so good, and Tank's distance control is actually really bad. Like, he was getting caught by like these straight rights flush by Ryan. I do think that he has a cerebral mind. He can figure out how to knock you out, but I don't think that Tank has really good distance control because he gets caught up on the ropes all the time. He gets smothered all the time. He gets caught up in the inside all the time, like from afar all the time. So I don't think his distance control is good. And then if you fight somebody whose distance control is on another planet that maybe we've never seen distance control to this degree before, I think it's going to be really tough. And Shakur has like perfect punch selection. So Tank's got great punch selection too. Shakur has great punch selection, but Shakur has distance control. It's going to be real difficult. And you see that move that he was doing where he was pinning his jab hand? He won't even be able to do that to Shakur because Shakur is also a left-handed fighter. So it's going to be very, very tough. Now, Shakur also likes to do that pinning your hand thing, and he won't be able to do it. The framing, Shakur won't be able to do it. So it'll be a very interesting fight to see both of them go at it. Considering the fact that they're both southpaws, I want to see it. But I do think that Shakur would win. If Shakur fought him, I do think he would win. He was hurt. The quitting stuff to me means he found a way out. Like if Tank didn't land that shot, he was coming out for the next round. Yeah. I think, he found a way out. He used that to find a way out. I feel like he was too aware because I've seen people like Oscar De La Hoya fall by a real kidney shot, and they're like focused on the pain. They're not like, oh, ref, where you at? Oh, let me look at Tank. What Tank doing? Yeah, I'm not getting up. Nah. 10? Okay, let me. Damn, man. That's too much awareness. Like, you should be focused on the pain. The pain should be overwhelming. It should be so bad that you can't get up. You're basically pulling yourself up, and there's more pain that's going through your body. So you're like, damn, this is crazy. He didn't seem to be doing that to me. I think Ryan wins 5 more times. They should do it again. I think if Ryan wins 5 more times, so this is way into the future then. 5 more times, that's like, there tend to be 2 fights a year. So this fight is already gone, so he would probably fight 1 more time, if that, by this year. So that would mean that probably looking at 3 to 4 years from now. I think that if he starts fighting people and starts doing really well against high-level people, then maybe we see something in the future. But right now, I don't know. I wouldn't. What's your opinion on the whole mole situation? I don't even, man, that's crazy. They're saying that fighter that was saying, I'm sorry that I hit you in the body and I hurt you in the body. They're saying that that guy was the mole, and then Ryan is saying that there was a mole. I don't know if there's a miscommunication that people think that because this guy put that video out saying, I'm sorry I hurt you to the body. I also don't know what's the motive of that fighter. If he's just trying to be like, hey, look, low key, I knocked, Ryan down with a body shot, so I want that credit. Like this is a moment. There's a big stage. Everybody's buzzing about Davis versus Garcia. I want the credit for being the guy to do it. I don't know if he's using that to low key do that and then be like, hey, Ryan, I'm so sorry I hurt you, And I don't know. It's very weird. I'm not sure of the motives on all parties, right? I'm not sure of the motives of saying there's a mole for Tank's party when they did that to get in his head. I'm not sure if Ryan is saying that because he's like, yo, who is this? Why is this guy saying this? Like, nah, he must be the mole, and just there's a miscommunication there, or if the guy was actually a mole. I don't know. Oh man. All right, hold on. Hold on. LOL. Shakur had one fight at 135 and y'all think he's better. You see what I'm talking about? KTB, look at this. Look at KTB, guys. The moment you go into another division, it's like your whole career is erased. Oh, 135. 5 more pounds. You went up 5 more pounds. Therefore, you did not beat Oscar Valdez and win. You didn't unify titles at 130. You're not a multi-divisional champion. It's like, bro, 5 pounds is not gonna change and bend the world. If you skillful 5 pounds below that weight, you're gonna be skillful 5 pounds above that weight. It's not. Skills pays the bills. It's not weight that does it. It's skills that pays the bills. So yes, of course, he only had one fight, but we know his caliber because he's already shown us. Same way Terrence Crawford showed us his caliber at 140 before he got to 147. We already knew he was going to be a beast at 147 because he showed us what he could do at 140. It's like, guys, just because somebody goes up in weight don't mean it changed the whole landscape of the world. Like, oh, now they're a new person. Like, that's not how it works, man. Tank even said he looked at him and said, get up, just to get in his head. Yeah. He's because when you in the moment, bro, you in the moment, man. When you in the moment, you in the moment. Shakur has pinpoint accuracy too. Yes, Shakur has amazing shot selection. All right, let me see. He's trolling him. In my opinion, he has to be because an apology is crazy. Why was the excuse for Canelo then? When Canelo fought Bivol, I didn't make any excuses for Canelo when he went up there to fight Bivol. I didn't say he was too big. I said he got outboxed by Bivol because of skill. It had nothing to do with weight. I think Canelo got outboxed by Bivol because of pure skill. Bivol didn't even really use his weight. He didn't knock him out. He didn't do it. He was just outboxing him. So in my opinion, Canelo will stop Bivol in the rematch. I don't believe that, AP. I don't believe that. I think Bivol will. I don't think Canelo really wants that Bivol work. I think Bivol will beat him again. Bivol was better than him in the boxing, in the skill of boxing. It wasn't his weight. His weight didn't do anything. He wasn't using his weight. He wasn't putting his weight on Canelo. He was just outboxing Canelo. Shakur's a different animal at 135. He gonna run the division. Yeah. I mean, he gonna win. He gonna win the undisputed title. As long if they holding it, it's gonna be an easy undisputed win because he only got to beat one person, right? So he gonna win the undisputed title. Yeah, Bivol just out-toughed him. He didn't fold from getting his arms thrashed. Yeah. Bivol beat him by beating him, like by boxing him, by outboxing him, by outsmarting him. All right, let me go over here to let's take a look at what let's see, I can pull it up here. Yeah, let's take a look at what Oscar De La Hoya said. Let me make sure you guys can hear it. Okay, you guys can hear it. All right, here we go.
First of all,
wait. Yeah, I can hear, but I can't. I want to be able to hear it too.
Congratulations to Gervonta Davis. You fought a hell of a fight. My hat's off to you. You had a great game plan, beautiful body shot. Ryan Garcia, we are proud of you. The world is proud of you. You made this fight happen. You wanted this fight, and I'm sure a lot of fighters will learn from you that you're daring to be great. But I do want to clarify.
Not on pay-per-view. What the heck?
Why Bernard Hopkins and
I'll be thinking this is YouTube. The pay-per-view numbers got to come in though. If the pay-per-view numbers are good, then that would help people make decisions to make these fights happen.
They weren't at the post-fight press conference.
Oh, here we go.
First of all, Bernard Hopkins was accused during the weigh-in of having testosterone cream on his hands and touching Gervonta Davis when he only wanted to help him because he was going to fall off the stage. So
why do I keep doing that?
PBC.
Hold up. How is he going to fall off the stage? Weren't they like in the middle of the stage? That's bugging me out right now. How was he going to fall off the stage? They were in the middle of the stage. They were in the middle. Like, they were so far away from the edge. Were they on like a smaller platform or something? Yo, I told you, bro, Oscar's geeked up. No, yeah, wow. Cap, I'm seeing a bunch of cap in here. There's a lot of caps. A cap emoji, this straight cap. Yeah, Oscar straight cap. I mean, I don't know how, because they were so far away from the edge of the stage. Like, maybe he thought he was going to fall down. But why would he fall down? Like, there would be no reason. There was so many people. He would fall into a person that would be like, hey, you all right? All right, there you go. Like, I don't know, man. That seems weird to me.
See, Gervonta's promoter banned him from everything. He couldn't get inside the ring. He couldn't do anything during the promotion. And so, as for myself, my security team told me, boss, we got to get the fuck out of here because I received death threats. You guys don't know this. I received death threats throughout the whole week, and they just said it was simply too dangerous, so we got out of there. And plus, Eric Gomez, who is my president, who was right there, front and center with Ryan Garcia, so there was no issue, no problems. This is all coming from all these PBC minions that are just attacking Ryan, attacking Golden Boy. But it's all good. It's all good. Ryan Garcia made this happen. Tank made this happen. We had a great fight. The best man won. My hat's off to you. And again, Tank Davis, you're a great fighter. Ryan Garcia, I have your back. Bernard has your back. We're with you 1,000%. And you will be back stronger than ever. Better than ever. Guaranteed. Thank you.
Okay, so it doesn't look like they've abandoned ship in terms of like no more, Ryan Garcia or no more like going in for him or whatever or backing him. I don't know though. I don't know about his explanation. Now, okay. Do I believe that Bernard Hopkins was trying to keep Tank from falling off the stage? I don't believe that because I don't think Tank was gonna fall off. He was nowhere near the stage, right? Now, do I think that because he did that, there could have been conspiracy theories that he was trying to put like to make him test positive, right, for PEDs or whatever, and a conspiracy of that came about, and then he was banned because of that? That's possible because PBC ran the entire show, right? Even when you were watching it on DAZN, you were watching it on DAZN, but it was a Showtime production. Everything you saw was Showtime stuff. Everything was Showtime. There was DAZN nowhere, and the commentators weren't even a splice like HBO and Showtime when they came together for Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, where you had Jim Lampley, but then you had Al Bernstein, Al Bernstein. Yeah, you had Al Bernstein with Jim Lampley, so there was a mix. Everything was mix, and you saw at the bottom it says Showtime and HBO. Here it was a Showtime through and through PBC production. It was a full PBC production, so there could have been a lot of creative control there for PBC to say, hey, look, we think that you did something funny. We don't want you there. So I understand that part. That could be true. Do I believe that he tried to save him from falling off the stage? No, I think maybe he touched him to like intimidate him and kind of protect Ryan a little bit, or kind of be on Ryan's team a little bit, because he didn't even need to be on that side, because that was Tank's side. He should have been on Ryan's side. I think he was trying to be like, you know, the dad, kind of protecting Ryan to keep Tank from doing something crazy to Ryan during the stare down. I think that is possible. Now, I think when you are a celebrity and it's a big event, you're like, I feel like you're always gonna be getting stuff like that, like possible death threats or possible threat of violence or possible this and that, because there's so many eyeballs, right? Like, people that are in the public eye are constantly getting these kind of things. Is that a valid excuse for not going when you have a security team and all these different things? I don't know, right? It's tough, man. It's tough. Like, they go through metal detectors there and everything like that. So I don't know if that's a valid excuse. But what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. Is that a valid excuse? In my opinion, in the biggest moment of your biggest fighter's career, maybe you should be there. I mean, that's just my opinion. Who you got, Shakur or Tank? And do you think this will be Shakur's toughest fight? I got Shakur beating Tank if they were to fight. Could it be his toughest fight? Absolutely. It's a possibility that could be one of his toughest fights, yes. Because although Tank lacks in certain areas like distance control, and Shakur shines in that, he still has a cerebral brain. He still has a cerebral mind. And it's going to be a super high level chess match between him and Shakur Stevenson. Boxing Fanatico, did you see Shannon Sharp calling out Spencer Crawford this morning for being scary and not wanting to scrap with each other? He was speaking facts. I got to go watch that. I haven't seen it, but I definitely got to go watch that to see what he said, because I mean, it's kind of like true. Like, get that fight done, man. It should be easier to get the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight done, because Terrence Crawford went to the PBC. So that fight should have been easier to make, and it didn't happen. So it's kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird. May 20th, Chantel Cameron coming to win, and Loma isn't as over the hill as people think. Yeah, man, yeah. A lot of people are counting him out just because he lost to Teofimo Lopez. But he came back strong. And people forget he lost to Orlando Salido in his second fight. Before he was the great Lomachenko, he lost to Orlando Salido in his second fight. Bounced back. He's the bounce back king, and beat people like Guillermo Rigondeaux, who was undefeated, who was untouchable almost. He didn't just beat him, he made him quit after he lost. To Orlando Salido. So people are writing Loma off. I would not write Loma off. People are already saying Devin Haney gonna win, whatever. It's the whole thing with somebody who's undefeated versus somebody who's not. For some reason, people just assume that the person who's undefeated is just gonna stay undefeated because that seems more likely, and the person who has lost will lose again. But don't discount Loma. Now, the thing with Haney is he got a really good jab, an insanely good jab, and he's tall and long and smart. So it's still gonna be tough, but distance or having a longer reach has never been in Loma's favor, because Loma is masterful at creating angles, and that's how he eliminates that distance that somebody might have, because he creates angles. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. Oh yeah, I got Haney, but this fight is getting undersold. Yeah, 100%. This fight is actually the real, like, mega fight, right? Behind Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. This fight is going to show us where they lie in the pound for pound. Ryan Garcia versus Tank, that was a hype fight. As a matter of fact, they fighting at a catchweight of 136, essentially a 135 fight. And the person who has all the belts is Devin Haney. He's fighting Lomachenko. That's the real fight to see who the best is in the division. It's not the Tank and Ryan. That's a hype fight. That's like Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. That ain't to prove nothing, but everybody gonna watch it. That's just to prove something that's isolated outside of just the boxing itself. Haney versus Loma is huge. I don't understand why people don't think that fight is massive, because it is. It's big. Is in the boxing world and what it means to boxing. It's bigger than is much bigger than Tank versus Ryan. Much bigger. That's what I've been saying, bro. Mr. Bones Boxing. Yes. It's much bigger. Well, yeah, keep the belts, but his belts are on the line regardless. It's a mandatory. What y'all talking about? Just not on Canelo's level. He's a mandatory though. Oh, John Ryder. Y'all talking about John Ryder, the fight? I mean, Canelo, I don't know why people get kind of bent out of shape about Canelo, because he fights a bazillion times. Well, you know for a fact he's going to fight in September. You know he's going to fight in September again. He has to. That's like part of his strategy. The Mayweather strategy was passed on to Canelo, and Canelo's always going to fight during the Mexican, those Mexican holidays, Independent Days. So, you watching it? 100%. I'm watching it. Bro, I love boxing, bro. I'm watching all the fights, bro. I watch all the fights. I pay for the zone monthly. I watch all the pay-per-views. I buy every pay-per-view. Yes, I'm gonna watch the fight. Benavidez or Bivol in September. I would love for him to fight Benavidez. Forget Bivol. Bivol's better than you already. Like, there's also a infatuation with a lot of people that watch boxing that want to know that the person's better than everyone in the world. So it's like, go back and fight Bivol to prove you're better than him, so that we know that you're better than everybody in the world. So you clean that up. And it's like, he doesn't have to. Why? He could just say, hey, Bivol's better, and I'm going to fight Benavidez and see if I'm better than Benavidez. I could be better than most people in the world. I'll let Bivol be better than me. He could do that. I don't know why it's always such like a thing. Like, you gotta. That's what Lomachenko did. Lomachenko was like, Orlando Salido, cool, you got it. Oh, nah, you gonna fight him again? Nah, he got it. Why fight him again if I could go ahead and beat what's the Jamaican, undefeated Jamaican guy that he beat? I forgot his name. It was such a long time. It was such a long time. Anybody remembers his name? The dude that used to wear the braids, I forgot his name. He was really good too at one point. But why I gotta fight him? I could be Guillermo Riga now. Why I gotta fight him if I could be Gary Russell Jr.? I don't need to fight Orlando Salido. Orlando Salido is a journeyman that I lost to. Good, nice, cool, whatever. I'll keep it moving. You don't gotta prove that you could beat every single person. You could just prove that you the best. You one of the best. And Nicholas Walters. There you go, AP. Whatever. Nicholas Walters. That's the guy. Man. Anyways, we have hit. Well, we're 1 minute away. We've hit the hour. It was fun talking to you guys. It was fun recapping the fight. We need to see Bivol. That's what we definitely need to see. That's the fight that needs to be made. That's the real fight that needs to be made in that division. There's not no Canelo coming out to none of that. We want to see Bivol versus Better Biev. That's what we want to see. Who you got? Inoue and Fulton. It's going to be tough right now without doing full-blown analysis just yet. I got Inoue winning, but it's a tough one. I got to break it down and figure out more stuff to kind of come up with what my final prediction is going to be. But right now, if I was just to say right now, just off the top of my head, I would say Inoue. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Of course, we go live every night, every afternoon at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live tomorrow to talk more boxing. And yo, that fight was fire. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I'm still waiting on the pay-per-view numbers. As soon as the pay-per-view numbers come out, we're going to talk about that too. So thank you for showing up. You guys, I think this was the most I've had since I started doing these episodes. This is the most amount of people I've had concurrent. So thank you so much. Hit the like on your way out, guys. Hit the subscribe button so we could grow this channel. So we can have multiple boxing channels, so there's multiple different narratives and multiple different opinions out there. Especially this channel is not tied to anything. It's not tied to Top Rank. It's not tied to PBC. It's not tied to DAZN in terms of like, oh, I'm just gonna like Top Rank fighters only, or I'm just gonna like DAZN fighters only. This channel is completely free of all of that thought, because it's just my opinion and my subjective analysis of the fighters and how I feel about boxing. All right, until next time, guys. Peace out. Hold up. Check out the new vid, bro. Showing y'all how y'all supposed to hit that heavy bag in Bloody Knuckles Street Boxing. Oh, I'm checking that out right now. Right after I close this, I'm checking that out. But we still don't think that that's keeping you away from giving us a new demo. Don't think that that's trying to take us from thinking about the demo, bro. We still want the new demo, all right? We still want the new demo. All right, guys. Until the next one, man. Peace out, guys. Peace out.